What if I told you that the entire future of the 21st century, from the smartphone in your pocket to the satellite orbiting Earth, is currently hanging by a single soft, silvery white metal that the world is running out of? We are standing in the heat of the 21st of February 2026, and the global economy has officially hit a lithium wall. For decades, the world focused on the struggle for oil, but in 2026, the real war has shifted to white gold. As of this morning, the spot price for lithium carbonate on the Guangzhou Futures Exchange has surged by a staggering 78% in just the last 60 days, hitting a record high of nearly $17,000 per metric ton. This isn't just a market rally, it is a desperate low-stakes scramble for national survival. Every major superpower is realizing that without lithium, their entire green energy revolution is nothing more than a hollow promise. Hello friends, welcome to Geo Unseen YouTube channel. Today we break down the lithium trap and why the world is desperate for this one metal. To understand the scale of this crisis, you have to look at the lithium triangle of Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia. This region holds over 50% of the world's known lithium reserves, but in early 2026, it has become a geopolitical battlefield. In the Atacama Desert, the situation has reached a violent breaking point. Local indigenous communities have formed massive blockades, shutting down the two largest brine operations on the planet. Why? Because the environmental cost is too high to ignore. To extract just one single ton of lithium, you need to evaporate nearly 500,000 gallons of precious groundwater. In a 2026 world where South America is facing its worst drought in a century, this has created a resource paradox. We are destroying the very environment we claim to be saving just to build the batteries for our electric future. The desperation is being driven by a massive structural shift in the 2026 energy market. While everyone thought EVs were the primary driver, a new giant has emerged, battery energy storage systems, or BESS, as renewable energy grids expand across the US and Europe. They need massive battery farms to stay stable. In January 2026 alone, global demand for grid-scale batteries jumped by 44%. But the supply chain is a bottleneck of terrifying proportions. China currently controls over 60% of the world's lithium processing capacity and nearly 80% of the world's battery cell production. In the current tense climate of 2026, this gives Beijing a geopolitical kill switch. With one export restriction, China could effectively paralyze the entire automotive and tech industries of the West overnight. But the trap goes even deeper than processing. It's about the mining lag. It takes an average of 10 to 15 years to bring a new lithium mine from discovery to full production, while the US is racing to open the Thacker Pass mine in Nevada, a project plagued by legal battles and environmental protests. The gap between what we have and what we need is widening into a chasm. By the end of 2026, analysts are predicting a global lithium deficit of nearly 300,000 tons. This isn't just a shortage, it's a total halt. This deficit means that millions of planned EVs will never be built and dozens of national power grids will remain unstable. We are watching the birth of a new OPEC of metal, a cartel of lithium-producing nations that are beginning to demand more than just money. They are demanding technology transfers and political concessions in exchange for their white gold. As we enter the second quarter of 2026, the question is no longer about which car brand is better. It's about which nation can secure the raw materials to keep its economy from going dark. The lithium trap is closing, and for many countries, there is no way out. While the world watches the price tickers, a much more dangerous game is being played behind closed doors in Beijing and Washington. This is the refining war of 2026. And as of February 21, the United States is officially losing. You see, mining the lithium is only half the battle. The real power lies in whoever can turn that raw, salty brine into battery-grade lithium hydroxide. Right now, China doesn't just dominate this process, they own it. By early 2026, Chinese state-backed companies have secured long-term offtake agreements with nearly 75% of all upcoming mining projects in Africa and South America. This means that even if a new mine opens in Zimbabwe or Brazil, the metal is already promised to a refinery in Ningbo or Shanghai before it even leaves the ground. This is the invisible monopoly. In January 2026, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce issued a resource security directive that quietly prioritized domestic battery manufacturers over foreign exporters. This move sent a shockwave through the headquarters of Tesla, Ford, and Volkswagen. Without Chinese refined lithium, the multi-billion-dollar gigafactories being built in Texas and Germany are nothing more than empty warehouses. We are seeing a repeat of the 1970s oil crisis. But this time, the fuel isn't liquid, it's a powder. And the gatekeeper is a single superpower that has been planning this move for over 2 decades. But the United States is finally trying to fight back, and the battlefield is a remote patch of desert in Nevada known as Thacker Pass. This site sits on one of the largest lithium deposits in the world, and in 2026, it has become the most controversial piece of land in America. The US government has fast-tracked the project under the Defense Production Act, treating lithium as a matter of national survival. However, the project is under siege. A coalition of environmentalists, ranchers, and indigenous tribes are fighting to stop the mine, claiming it will destroy the local water table and desecrate sacred lands. This is the ultimate 2026 irony. To build a green future, the US is being forced to authorize a massive, open-pit mining operation that looks anything but green. The desperation in Washington has reached such a peak that by mid-February 2026, the Department of Energy announced a record-breaking $4 billion loan to a startup attempting direct lithium extraction, or DLE. This technology promises to pull lithium out of the ground without the massive evaporation ponds that take years to dry. It is a Hail Mary pass. If DLE works, the US could bypass the lithium triangle entirely and tap into domestic geothermal brines in the Salton Sea. But if it fails, the US will remain permanently tethered to a supply chain controlled by its greatest rival. As we speak, the lithium nationalization movement is spreading across the globe. Following Mexico's lead, several African nations have announced in February 2026 that they will no longer export raw lithium ore, only finished, refined products. They want the jobs, the factories, and the wealth for themselves. This resource nationalism is tightening the trap even further. For the Western automakers, the era of cheap, easy minerals is over. We are entering an age where the cost of a car battery isn't determined by the market, but by the diplomatic leverage of a few resource-rich nations. The 2026 lithium war isn't just about batteries. It's about who will have the right to move in the 21st century. The year 2026 has brought us to a critical junction. Is the world doomed to stay trapped in this lithium-dependent cycle, or is there a plan B that can break the monopoly? As of the 21st of February 2026, the first real crack in the lithium fortress has appeared, and it's coming from an element so abundant you can find it in your kitchen: sodium. Just 4 days ago, on February 17, the Chinese automotive giant Changan and battery leader CATL made history by unveiling the world's first mass-production sodium-ion electric vehicle. This isn't a prototype. It is a market-ready car slated for sale by mid-2026. Sodium-ion batteries are 30% to 40% cheaper to produce and don't require a single drop of lithium. This is the great escape the West has been praying for, but it comes with a massive catch. While sodium is great for small cars and power grids, it still lacks the energy density to power the long-range trucks and high-performance jets that the 2026 economy demands. But the real holy grail of the energy war is the solid-state battery, and 2026 is officially the year it moved from the lab to the production line. In California, QuantumScape just inaugurated its Eagle Line pilot production facility this month. And in Japan, Toyota has ramped up its pilot production, targeting a 750-mile range on a single charge by 2027. These solid-state cells use a solid electrolyte instead of a liquid one, making them safer, faster to charge, and twice as energy dense as current lithium batteries. However, even these miracle batteries still need lithium, they just use it much more efficiently. This means the lithium trap isn't disappearing, it's just evolving. The conclusion for 2026 is sobering. The lithium trap is the new geopolitical reality. We are in a transition period where the old world of oil is dying, but the new world of minerals hasn't fully arrived. The winners of 2026 won't be the countries with the most soldiers, but the ones with the most secure supply chains and the most advanced recycling tech. If you want to stay updated as we track the rise of the sodium revolution and the secret war for the Arctic's mineral wealth, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe Geo Unseen YouTube channel. We are deep diving into the materials that will build or break the future. Stay sharp, stay informed, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace from Geo Unseen.